Hi guys. I wish I was beaming to you from a beach or someplace more exciting. But no, I'm back here in my office. As you guys probably know, I have so many things to get caught up on grading wise. So this week I'm going to be doing grading your rhetorical analysis papers, which have just taken me forever to get to. I'm so sorry. And my other English 121 class is in the same position, unfortunately. So I'm going to be getting caught up on those, and just doing some little nitpicky planning for the rest of the semester. So this is a short assignment this week. It shouldn't take you too long to do, and mostly it's about thinking. It's not a whole lot of doing, it's mostly thinking. So first off, my question for you is, who's your audience? So with the issue that you want to look at, you should tie it to a specific person or group of people that you want to do something. So you guys are going to be writing a letter to a specific person or group of people. So protesting that same group is fine. You might decide you want to protest a larger group of people, like maybe go to town hall, or maybe you want to go to Congress, or maybe you want to protest in front of the school or something like that, and then make your letter a very specific person, or address your letter to a very specific person within that larger group. However you decide to do this, however it makes sense for you, that's what I want you guys to do. So when you're thinking about your audience, that audience should be somebody who actually has the power to take the action that you want them to take. So if you're thinking about, for instance, my household protest with my husband and my daughter, so, if I were to write a letter to them and stage a protest, I would be writing a letter directly to them because I want them to take over more of the household chores. It wouldn't do me any good to protest in front of Congress for that, right? So you want to match your location, which we'll talk about next week, but you want to match your audience to your issue. Make sure that the audience is somebody that can actually do something about your issue. And then I want you to think about what kinds of information and what kinds of sources will be persuasive to that audience. So to use my household protest example again, my husband is very much a feminist, and so I might want to do some looking into sources that talk about how women often tend to do most of the housework, even though he and I both work, and we both contribute equally to our household expenses, but I definitely do more of the housework than he does. And so this is a very common issue, and so I might point out to him that there's a lot of feminist work around this very issue. There's what's called a book called The Second Shift, and then there was a book called The Third Shift that kind of deals with a lot of these issues. So maybe I would quote from some feminist sources and say, like, hey, this is a problem a lot of times that women go through. And so he might be persuaded by that. So find information and find sources that your audience will be persuaded by. And it should still be accurate sources, so don't just pander and find whatever crazy pants source. Although sometimes that can be useful. But I want you to try to be as accurate as possible, use your logos to be as logical and accurate as possible, but still find those sources that person is going to be persuaded by. And you might have to find out some more information about them. So for instance, if you're thinking about appealing to, say, the administration of Red Rocks, you'd want to find out who that is. You'd have to go on the Red Rocks site and figure out, like, who are our administrators. If you want to appeal to state government, you might have to find out a little bit more about our governor, John Hickenlooper, or maybe you want to find out more, about Cory Gardner, or more about Michael Bennet, to figure out, like, what are the things that they would be most persuaded by? What are their political leanings? What are their You know, maybe they've got some hobbies. Maybe they mention a favorite author or something like that. So figure out like what are some ways that you can persuade this person based on what you already know about them, right? And then what I want you to do is use the library resources and use Google, you know, use some general resources to find 3 sources that you find are credible, accurate sources that will be persuasive to your audience. Now, I've also posted a video from Julia Bordeaux, who is our instruction librarian here on the Red Rocks campus. And she has a really amazing resource, a short video that shows you how to use the Red Rocks library to find articles. And then I'm assuming you guys already know how to use Google, so I didn't put anything up there about that. So just see if you can find 3 sources, and then by Sunday, April 1st at 11:59, I just want you guys to get in touch with me. Tell me who you envision as your audience, as somebody who you want to persuade in the letter or in your protest or both, and give me 3 sources that you find. Names of articles with authors is perfectly fine, or if you want to just copy the whole citation from the library or copy the URL from Google, that's perfectly fine. And remember, you are looking for information that would be credible to your audience so that you can use that to support your argument as you are putting together a persuasive letter and putting together your protest. Next week, we're going to talk about location. So how do you find a location for a protest? How do you find the permitting information? And we're also going to talk a little bit more about how do you structure a persuasive letter. I'll give you guys a couple of template examples so that you can just kind of follow through the template. And yeah, and I hope you guys are getting a little bit of a chance to relax. I'm sorry I'm giving you assignment over spring break, but hopefully it's not a big one, and you can do it on Saturday. So give yourself time to relax, and I will see you guys next week. I'm sorry for posting this video so late. It's been kind of a chaotic weekend for me, computer-wise and everything else. So anyway, my apologies. I hope it didn't disrupt anybody's vacation, but I will look forward to seeing you guys again next week. All right, take care. Have a good break.